Okay, this is a continuation of a little bit of credit analysis that I'm going to do. And I want to show you a few things in here. Some of this is a review, some of it's new, there's some additional information, not dramatic, and a lot of it's my opinions about how screwed up the thinking real thinking about risk is, and real ways to make a credit analysis, and how to address these things. Now, in this session, I'm going to show you a little bit of updates that I've made to this read PDF file. No idea how many of you use it, and we're going to use this Sun Edison company now. I'll show you a couple of things. Let's get the I downloaded some of this already, but I didn't download the cash flow statement. So let's download the cash flow statement. So, and I really should say what I'm going to do, okay? And there'll be 3 points to this video, okay? You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause and write down the points. Okay, here are my points. Number 1, when there are problems that there sometimes are in copying from the PDF to Excel, try uploading the file to Google Drive and doing it that way. Number 2, when you're going to use this read PDF program, there's a little options button that has various different possible things to use, and I want to show you how to use that. That was kind of bad. I made a new reset function in the read PDF file. It should make a lot of things easier. And then if there are numbers like last year's accumulated depreciation was 125789 and the year before was different, you want to take all those numbers out of the titles to make the titles much easier to use with this union function that puts everything together that we'll use in the next discussion. Okay, so those are some of our points, and I'll make a separate file for all of these. Okay, so I've done some of this already, but now we're going to go back to where I just was, and we'll read the cash flow statement. Here's the income statement and the balance sheet, and here we have the cash flow statement. Now what you can do is make it smaller so you can kind of see everything on the page, and then just copy it. When you copy it, you can go and let's put it right at the end. Everything is fine. So this is our cash flow from 2012. And in fact, we had a 2014 one and a 2012 one, and I also put in a cash flow for 2010. I might as well get that. You can see the format is different. I don't know why. Kind of looks better when it was older. Maybe they weren't running into such financial problems. Here's the balance sheet, and here we have the cash flow statement. And the cash flow statement for this had some tricky items, and adjusting the EBITDA for some of these items is going to be a much more interesting and important issue to discuss. So we'll press that one. Okay, and everything's fine. Now, so this is cash flow for 2010, right? Okay, and I think we're starting to get enough. Now, if you would go to this one, which was the, let's just take this SunEdison for, I might as well get the cash flow statement again. It's kind of, here we go. Wasn't that bad. Okay, and then we try it here. And then we go, and I'm not going to swear. And we go, oh, shoot! Okay, it was a mess. Now, I've tried to make programs, Alt-EL, to fix this mess, but I'm not going to. So instead, here's what you can do. You go to your, no, I don't care about the family tree. That's not my family tree I was looking at. I was trying to illustrate that project finance is like a family, and corporate finance is like a member of the family. No, the other way around. Okay, now look at this. So I have this in Google Drive, and just a minute. Maybe what I have to do is, okay, let me. I put it right here. Here's our report. Okay, let's go down and get the. Oops. Whoops. No. Here we go. Here's the cash flow statement. Oh no. I don't know why I had to grab it in a different place, but I'm trying to be real now. When you do this, you paste it, and the good news is it looks the same. The only bad news is it's got the spaces in it. So that it's much more good news than bad news. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go and get, you can get it from the website, the file called Read PDF. Okay, and obviously that's got to be open. Now I'm going really slowly here. Come on. Oh, no. Okay, then we look in folder number 1. I think because I'm making a bunch of these little discs that I make for my class, and I really wish somebody sign up for a class. Anybody? Okay, now I've got all these other products too that are kind of never made any penetration. Okay, so I'm going to open this file. Didn't have to enable. If you have to enable macros, if there's some problem, you just click this auto open and it hopefully should work. Or you might, if your auto open is restricted or something, you can go to a thing called begin, and what should happen is it should put the little, this is called the status bar. You make this in a macro. Okay, now after you've opened that one, well, I'm going to just a minute, just a 50 minutes. I had to press that to make it say add-ins, and one of the add-ins that's not here. Oh, shit. Well, I'm going to go to the developer and get it then. Macros, and let's just look at read PDF to Excel. How about I run it from here? Okay, I put the add-ins here. I could have found this. And one of the add-ins, it says delete blank rows. You can find that in the generic macros file again. Okay, now once you have this, that's our cash flow for 2014, which I already did here anyway, but that's how you get it. So that was one of the big items, Alt-EL. Now, once you have this finished, let's just do a few of this. Just Shift-Control-A, Notice it says set now, and then it has adjustments and conversions. For the adjustments and conversions, I like to remove any numbers and commas. I'd like to take away these numbers that can appear in the titles. Just in case there are a bunch of dots, you can remove the dots. Trimming the data helps. Taking parentheses, so I put like note 1, and then it tells you what you can underline and what you don't have to underline. So I'm leaving all these underlined, and I'm leaving this combined row is important, because sometimes there's when the PDF reads in, there are two rows that really should be one, and it puts them into one. It doesn't, so that's a little tricky, and you can look at this one. So we just press reformat, okay? And then we go to the next one, and we press Shift Control A, and it already has it on 5, so we reformat that one again. Okay, and then we go to the next one, and we press Shift Control A, and we press reformat again. Pretty boring, huh? And then we press Shift Control A, but pretty fast too. Okay, and then it always saves the original sheet. I don't know if I want to, you might want to delete it, but I'm not confident enough in this, because sometimes you want to check the data. Now this one doesn't have 5, so this is a big deal. So you press this reset column number and then just click on the button. And that took me hours of a plane ride to get. Okay? And it's starting to look pretty good, I think. You know, here's the 2009. Here's a 2008, okay, and then, so let's just do another one. Oops, that's, I already did. Shift Control A, it said set again. Now that's because I think I went back and forth. So let's do Shift Control A here, and this is still 3. It's a little bit lower, okay, and then we go to this one, Shift Control A, it's still 3. Okay, pretty good, huh? Shift Control A, 3, fine. And then we get to the balance sheet. And the balance sheet only has 2 things there. And I hope you can see now, the balance sheet has some interesting thing. You do not want these numbers in a row. This comma means that this is part of this one. You don't want these 2 in a row. That's a pain. It's another pain. Basically, the way I have to do this is I have to go and see what works. It's a pain. Shift Control A. So this time we reset the column number again, because we're going to have 2 columns instead of 1, and that's the way it works. But it didn't work. Delete it and try again. Shift Control A, and then we have to set it to 2. This might not work. Shoot. Shift Control A. And when it says 3, that's when you have to set it to 2. Okay, so let's delete this one. And let's go to this one. And it's still set on 2, so that's okay. Alright. And Shift Control A, still set on 2. It's working so well that I'm going to keep the video on. Maybe it's not going to work now, because I can't seem to. Okay, go to the next page. Let's Shift Control A. It's still set on 2. Everything's fine. Doesn't matter when you start. And now we get to the cash flow statement, the one we just talked about. Shift Control A. Now we have to hit reset. Put set there, and then you set it to 3. And then you hope to go to the next page, Shift Control A, to set again. Maybe I have to do a little bit of work on this, because it's saying set the very next time. Shift Control A, it seems to take two times to reset, so I've got a little more work there, but that's that. That's step 1. And that's getting all of the sheets together. Now all I'm going to do is delete them, and I'm going to look at that little bit of a problem And basically I'm not really going to upload this file finally until I figure out why it didn't save that. You had to 2 resets before it saved, okay? So, oh well. Okay. I left the last video off, and I hate this one. In the video, I find a mistake. I do that too much, by the way. If I go to Excel Utilities, and then down in Excel Utilities, go to, I'm just showing that I fixed this read PDF to Excel thing, okay? I hope I did. Watch it not work again. Then I'll have to just switch off the video now. I'm just doing the, reformatting the 2014s. And I'm going to be very aggressive. I'm going to show you something else. And in 2014, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, is that 5 years in this one, in the summary statement, 3 years of the profit and loss, 2 years of the balance sheet, and 3 years of the cash flow. And that's kind of going to cause a pain. Shift Control A, you notice it says set here. That means it's going to figure out how much column widths to put. And then you see down here where it says retain original sheets. I'm going to go ahead and say, no, I'll delete those sheets. Then I press Shift Control A, it worked. And then it didn't retain the other sheet. Now, I'm going to press Shift Control A, it has 5. I need to reset the column. And this took so long. I'm so happy about this, but it worked. And then let's make the balance sheet. It's 3. I've got to reset the column width again. Okay, and I press balance. This didn't work. Shift Control A. This time I can reset it again. I should have saved the original balance. So that wasn't so good. Well, okay. I'll just delete this. Alright, so that last thing was a little bit of a pain, but I shouldn't have deleted the sheets. But the key point is that now I fixed that irritating thing that I had in Read PDF, where you had to go and restart it all the time. Okay, enough of that. And that's the addendum, and then we're finished. Oops. We're finished.